Lagi kasi yung mga information na feed sa'yo is yun at yun.
Ako, hindi naman sa nagbubuhat ako ng sarili bangko. Pero ako, I think meron akong capacity na mag-iba ng opinion.
Bottom line, noong ko pa naman sinabi last week na the fact is nandun na siya. Right? I don't know if there's anything else that the government can do unless magbeg sila. But I don't think that would be the best way to do it. Question is yung legality, kung paano siya kinuha and then pinadala sa The Hague.
Bakit sila ayaw nila ng chacha?
Kasi
I'll tell you. Wala na kasing kwan eh. Wala na kasing there's no more money, and you can trace it. Kasi malapit lang kasi yung kinahukuman ng pera eh.
Yeah.
So when it's given, like the way with us, right? When the federal government gives money to us, you know where it is. It's in Queens Park. And you don't have to go anywhere far to find out where the money is. Currently in the Philippines, you have to travel day and night to figure out where the money went, if you can find the money.
Welcome at kasama natin ngayon si Ian.
Welcome back, Ian.
Kailan ba last time na nag-guest ka sa Barbers? Tagal na rin no?
Before the election of Baby M.
Oo nga.
Maraming nagbago na.
Marami na nagbago. So mga 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And especially yung nasa mga balita, yung nagkakagulong Facebook ngayon kasi sunod-sunod mga balita na talagang nakakapag-ignite ng mga passion at ng emotions ng lahat ng mga tao. Kaya, bawat banat mo is either ifa-fact check ka or titingnan talaga lahat. Pero ito naman ang sa tingin ko, pag halimbawa, decided ka na sa gusto mo, yun ka na eh. And tapos tumitingin ka pa sa social media na na-amplify ng algorithm yung mga nakikita mo, hindi ka naaalis dun sa pwesto mo. Hindi mo na makikita yung isang side na tama ba o hindi. Lagi kasi yung mga information na feed sa'yo is yun at yun.
Ako, hindi naman sa nagbubuhat ako ng sarili bangko. Pero ako, I think meron akong capacity na mag-iba ng opinion. Base sa mga pangyayari o sa mga facts o sa mga diba? For example, nung sabi mo, huling nandito tayo before BBM. And hindi ko natanda kung ano talaga ang pinag-usapan natin, pero obviously, malamang political. Ano ang pananaw ni Ian nung panahon noon kumpara sa ngayon?
So before I go anywhere with that, mayong gabi sa inyong tanan. My name is Ian.
Oh, may Sub-Saharan.
Taga Mindanao, from Sub-Saharan, Pagadian City. So, balik natin sa tanong. So, how do I feel noon? Ang feeling ko noon, the last time we had this conversation was optimistic. Very optimistic. Kasi I just came from being in the Philippines of having Duterte as our president. Mindanao. Talagang tatak sa amin yun And then now we have Sara Duterte as vice president and then si BBM. So akala ko talaga we're gonna keep moving forward. Fast track 3 years later, ang daming Supreme Court cases, durog dito, durog dyan, tanimbala, bumalik na. Meron na namang
rape,
suyop, rape dito. At saka yung commotion sa ICC, helpless na naman ako, man. It's like I'm back to my activism days na naman na saan ba tayo lulugar? And now it's more divided kasi yung when somebody's given a mic and they start to use statistics and start to throw dirt at people that they're not supposed to throw dirt at, nandito na tayo ngayon na the divisiveness of the Philippine society, which we are islands by the way, it's all in front center na. So kung ano yung nanghinagkip natin noon, if that's the right word, about Mindanao's, how they feel about people in the north, it's coming into fruition again. And we're divided by that. So right now, parang galit, naawa ko sa ating sitwasyon. And at the same time, I just want to speak about it. Talagang wala eh. You know?
Tsaka i-add ko lang pala yung kung paano ka rin kita na-meet dati. Kasi na-meet ko si Ian sa Ugnay, parang UKPC ba yun? Basta activist, mga
Activist,
left na talagang sumasama tayo sa mga rally nun. Diba?
Yun ang sinasabi ko na hindi
Hardcore tayo
like,
noon.
hardcore. Na nagbabago ang tao kasi ikaw, 'di ba, parang like
Tsaka talagang actively na nagre-recruit.
At saka ibang
Actively nagre-recruit.
ibang definition ng ang pinaglalaban dati. Hindi yung katulad na yung left ngayon na right? So iba yung culture dati, iba yung ngayon.
Iba yung ngayon.
no, sinasabi ko lang, ang tao dapat regardless kung religion man 'yan o science 'yan o politics 'yan. Kailangan mo magbago. Kailangan open ka na magbago at magkaroon ng ibang pananaw. 'Di ba? So, nung dati kasi kilala ka nga aktivista ka. Hindi ko pa naiintindihan yung mga term na yan dati.
Yeah.
No? Tapos hanggang sa nagkakaroon ka ng malay tao, ganon. Naging synonymous siya sa mga komunista.
Yeah.
Ayan, 'di ba? So, paano ka napadpad sa ganon? So, komunista ka ba dati or
Very left talaga ako. As in, left-leaning talaga. And part of the reason why left-leaning ako is it was personal discovery. Kaya anong nangyari sa history natin, kaya anong nangyari sa history ko, kung bakit ako napadpad dito sa Canada, at ano bang kailangan natin gawin as part of the youth to bring back the right Filipino identity, which is somebody that thinks for their country, right? A very patriot way of doing things, and also looking at how can we make our country better. So yung sinabi ko sa'yo kanina, I said there are only 3 times I was proud to be Filipino, right? Yung I was born, naging aktivista ako, na-meet ko kayo, and then a person named Duterte from Mindanao became the president, because it showed me that amidst all of the people telling us that you're from sub-Saharan Mindanao and you don't know anything, prom di ka, a person from Mindanao actually did better for the Philippines than anybody else. I mean, like, you guys can all argue about the EGKs, all of that, but when Duterte was in the Philippines, you could walk late at night and not have to worry. Ngayon, good luck. Good luck na lang.
o Warren?
From Westeros.
Hindi, ito naman ha.
From Sub-Sahara to Westeros.
Kasi relevant pa yung mga pinag-uusapan natin ngayon sa mga pangyayari. Last week lang, last time, mainit na mainit yung pagka-aresto pa sa ni Duterte, di ba? Fast forward isang linggo, ano ang mga key developments? Meron bang mga development na nag-iba sa mga pananaw nyo? Or nag-add ng information o na meron ba? Ano sa palagay nyo? Ikaw, Warren?
Well, I was just following up yung hearing nila kagabi. So, bottom line, noong ko pa naman sinabi last week na the fact is nandun na siya. Right? I don't know if there's anything else that the government can do unless magbeg sila. But I don't think that would be the best way to do it. Question is yung legality, kung paano siya kinuha and then pinadala sa The Hague. For me, it's become parang nagiging clear na sa akin na mali talaga yung proseso.
Tama ako.
Ha?
O, di tama ako.
I didn't say na mali ka. I didn't say na mali ka last week. Right? So, the more na habang, itong mga hearing, mga balita na naririnig natin, to me, it becomes more clear na mali yung proseso. May nagkamali dito.
And ang nakakatakot dito, and frustrating din, obviously may nagkamali. Pero ang mga nag-handle na neto ay yung mga pinakamatataas na posisyon.
Yeah.
So ang sinabi ditong mga nagkamali, hindi tipong parang, ay kasi si SPO1, hindi niya alam yung batas and then ganito ginawa niya. Hindi. Ang mga narinig ko, nakita ko sa mga Senado na yung mga highest official sa DOJ, sa PNP, sa AF, kung ano man, 'di ba? Na hindi mga hindi yung mga frontline na mga parang pawn na parang baka maintindihan mo na katangahan yan o baka deliver. Hindi. Yun yung highest levels ang mga nagkaroon ng lapse or corruption, ako ano man, na na-unfold.
I think itong mga lawyers nito, they really think highly of themselves. Sa akin, like, just listening to their arguments, walang unison or walang hindi pare-parehas yung mga sagot eh. So,
kaninong side? Yung kaninong side? Yung sa government side?
Yung kabinete at saka yung mga nagdedepensa. Yung mga nagdedepensa ngayon, right? Walang isang iba-iba yung mga sagot nila eh. So, for me, para bang, ano yung mga interpretation nila sa law? Parang iba-iba yung mga pinag-aralan nila.
Well, in a way.
Wala, like, for example, yun yung topic ngayong hearing nila kahapon. Red notice, difference between red notice at saka diffusion.
Diffusion.
Red diffusion. There's a huge difference. Just ChatGPT it. You can see it clearly. There's a huge difference. Now, yung legality nga, kung inaresto nga si Duterte, that given na they only receive a red diffusion, there is a
null and void dapat yun. Dapat ibalik.
Hindi, may questionable talaga. Kasi just take a look at the definition nga ChatGPT ko. Meron akong queries sa ChatGPT, lahat doon yung mga pinipaste ko lahat yung mga nangyayari and stuff like that. So para bang ina-analyze niya real time yung mga pangyayari. So in conclusion, sinasabi niya na there is yung pag-aresto kay Duterte is questionable, right? So now I don't know.
Masaya ka ba?
Masaya ako? I've been a Duterte supporter. Doon ko para sinabi to. I'm just actually torn why it has to come like this. Right? Kasi
okay.
like look, I'm from the north. Pero I supported Duterte when he became president. I stated last time na when he was the president, I saw the difference. I felt the difference. And the entire country saw felt it too. Right? So, if you compare right now, and I said this last week as well, na Marcos is not the leader that I had in mind. He is a weak leader. He cannot seems to control his I don't know, yung
cronies,
whatever you may call that. But therefore, if you compare with him with Duterte, wala talagang comparison, right? In order for you to be a great leader, you cannot stay silent. Which is him right now. Even though sinasabi niya madami kaming nagawa, meron kaming nabayaran na utang, blah blah blah. He is not mainstream na katulad ni Duterte. Like yung pagmamahal na binigay ng Pilipino kay Duterte dahil he was on everything, like he say things that parang hindi natural sa ano, 'di ba?
Populist.
Yeah, yung dating niya mismo, that what made everybody loves him as a person at saka how he governed himself. Now, the EJK is very questionable, and yung mga I don't know, we can discuss about that later on.
Ikaw, Ian, ano ang take mo naman sa mga development last week versus this week?
Yung take ko sa development this week, sasabihin ko lang sa inyo, it's very detrimental to our progress as a country. Straight up. I'll tell you why. So, we just came from a very stable leadership in Duterte. And 3 years after his leadership, we now are a laughingstock of the entire world due to the fact that our judiciary is no longer working. If people are going to do research about our government, they'll start to see Supreme Court issues with regards to blatant stealing of money from our education to our healthcare and to our national budget. And the Filipinos are living in reels right now, 30 seconds at a time, trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're living off people's vlogs. They're living off people's ideas, and they can no longer think. And on top of that, we have an election where the government is essentially using people's money to bribe people into keeping them in power. So if you tell me now how I feel about the Philippines, I am very sad, man. And this ICC nonsense should have been dealt with in the Philippines before it gone to the Hague. They're passing the buck here so that the Filipinos can be somewhat distracted from what's really going on. And what's going on is we're going back to Stone Age again. We're not moving forward. So many bridges are going back down. There's infrastructure is dying, flood controls. People don't know where their money is. And here we are again talking about corruption. We were just talking about that prior to Duterte's, and we talked about EGK. Yes, people die on war on drugs. That's the whole point. If you guys are gonna complain about Bukele too. What's he doing? Right? Like we have to like look at the optics, right? And in our world where we don't have the social safety net, stuff happens like this. We don't have a social safety net for people with drug habits to be rehabilitated. Duterte tried it. He built so many places for people to be rehabilitated. But our money can ever go so much. And we had the pandemic afterwards. So it's not like the guy didn't do anything about EJKs. He tried his best. But guess what, guys? There's always going to be damage. And you know what? Filipinos are a family-centric society. Why is it that the parents didn't say anything? You cannot blame hunger. You cannot blame poverty. No, we have ideas. We have culture. So you can't blame that over some methamphetamine and say, well, you know what? The society's to blame for this. No, your family has to own up to it. And that's the problem right now. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at it as like, okay, well, we're distracted right now. Elections coming up in June. A lot of Filipinos feeling disenfranchised as to who are they going to vote for. By the way, I'm Filipino citizen, so just letting you guys know, I do have a say in this whole thing. So if you're going to tell me how I feel, I feel sad, man, because there is besides the Duterte going crazy about bringing him home, there's no unifying spirit right now. There is absolutely nothing.
At saka yung point na niraise mo kanina, na maraming tao ang na-overlook to dahil sa COVID.
Yeah.
Partida pa may COVID. And tayo, first world country, US, lahat yan alam nila, witness ang mga tao kung paano naapektuhan ang buhay nila. Don't tell me na make bansa na during COVID ay yung government nila is lalo pang bumuti or talagang hindi sila nahirapan. Ang Pilipinas pa na third world tapos nangyari yung COVID. So napakalaking dagok nun. So yun nga na-realize ko na nga no. Imaginein mo kung wala pa talagang COVID yun. Ibig sabihin nun yung infrastructure na sobrang kaliwa kanan. Yung rehabilitation, no? Na talagang, baka talagang parang El Salvador tayo na state of the art, ang laki. Pero ilang taon ang COVID. Yeah. So, yun lang. Tapos, nakikita ko pa ngayon, another development since last week. Okay. Ang dami mga boploks. Hindi, yung mga nakita ko talaga, kala ko inano ko na sana fake news to. Hindi. Yung mga nanay nung kuno biktima EJK, walang hiya, mga nandoon, hindi naman EJK ang ikinamatay.
Tama.
So parang yan and yan ang nagpo-fuel sa division kasi yan ang nakikita, yan ang purposely kinakapture ng mga media, international, lahat. Para mag-cause ng chaos talaga. Tapos, biruin mo yun, nakaka-visit and yan ang estado.
So nilagay nila doon? Planted yung mga yun?
Absolutely. It's
paano hindi planted?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Anong ibig sabihin?
No, I mean like, ilalagay doon yung may bayad.
Like, regardless kung I'm sure binayaran yun. Like, bakit mo ilalagay doon unless like, come on, like, okay, namatay anak mo. Ay, ito pa masama. Yung iba hindi nila kamag-anak.
Yeah.
Yung iba hindi namatay.
Yung hindi nila kaano-ano. Like, bakit tatay ko yan kapatid ko yan. Bakit yan ang hawak mo? Yung isa nilagay pa yata yung victim yung hazing. Diba? Paano naging EJK yun? Diba? Like, frat, violence, nangyayari. Panahon pa ng mga tatay natin, unfortunately, mayroon talagang ganyan.
And that is the argument, bottom line, right? So, yung drug on war, I
War
don't know
on
if the numbers are may mga iba-iba yung mga binabato nila numbers eh. May 10,000, 20,000, may 30,000,
Ayun,
yung mga ganito.
170 nga. daw
Ako,
sabi.
kaya nga ako, wala. Ngayon
Sabi
pa,
sa-
iba,
Yung nga sinabi ko, well, like look, we don't know, hindi natin alam kung accuracy ng number na yun. At saka kahapon sinabi din, they don't even know kung ICC ba nandun ay nag-iimbestiga. Nobody's assisting them. So these numbers could be actually fabricated.
exactly.
So
Kaya
they don't
sabi sa'yo,
they don't know. But the bigger picture is let's stay to the fact yung gustong gawin ni Tatay Digong like yung does he have
na show.
well, does he have a good intention? You have to take a look at kung pinabayaan niya to ilan rin ang taong namatay.
Tama.
Due to drug addict. Yung mga rape, yung mga ganon. Ilan rin ang crime na mangyayari kung pinabayaan niya.
It's happening
So
again.
how many numbers?
Multi-generation.
So how would you make that comparison? You don't know, right? So again,
Well, ang
I'm just-
isang klaro dyan, again, kinakalimutan uli ng tao, marami ang sumuko by the
700,000.
sumuko
Yeah.
na walang volunteer. Marami ang nag-rehab. Okay? At marami ang na-turn around yung buhay. So yung sinasabi mong paano kung hindi rin natin alam kung ano ba talagang nangyari dun sa iba? Yes, pero ang 100% alam natin, the fact na sumuko, the fact na na-rehabilitate at yung iba nagkaroon ng panibagong chance, yun. So ano yun? So mas mabuti ang kinalabasan. So maski hindi mo na alam kung ano yung detalye, for the good yun. Na madaming ganun. Parang pinapalabas kasi ay sobrang walang naging, kumbaga, net negative ang war on drugs. Na, oh my God. Diba? Yeah, ngayon may nag-comment, 17,000 na EJK, okay. Pero yung 17,000, again, hindi ibig sabihin yan ay lahat yan ay illegal. Marami talaga yung mga legitimate operation. Come on, pumunta ka sa TikTok. 'Di ba? Yung mga andali lang ngayon sabihin na halimbawa mga violence on black, halimbawa sa Amerika, 'di ba? Pero ang dami mong nakikita, may mga baril pala talaga yung mga kriminal. Pero ang very convenient sa narrative na oh my God, minority o ang mga African pinaka-targeted. Pero ngayon, makikita mo sa body cam, ganon. Ganon din yung sa war on drugs na yan. So, hindi lahat yon. The fact na 43 lang ang sinabi talaga doon na biktima na at kadalasan
that's other yung sinasabi nilang Davao Death Squad yung numbers na.
Matubato,
It's not included yung talaga ICC when stuff. Yung numbers yung mga number na charge siya ngayon is through anong year yun? 2011 ba? 2010?
Yeah.
So, 2016 lang ata yun. So,
Itong-
doon siya, yun ang nasa warrant niya.
Yeah.
So meaning, wala yung ICC. Wala yung mga ICC, wala yung drug war na pinagsasabi nila. Yung inimbestiga nila ngayon, yung between 2010 to 2016. Because probably yun ang mayroon sila eh. Right? So,
Sa yung hindi siya presidente? Yun ba yan?
During his mayor, during when he was mayor, and some of it because we left in 2019. It was actually official in 2016. So,
yeah.
itong spin ko dito with what's the negative that's going on in the Philippines right now. Tayo na we're in a better situation here in Canada, especially the left. I'm looking at you guys right now. Instead of, I used to be from the left. Instead of nitpicking about what you guys can propagate to feed people, to give the sensationalized issues that's happening in the Philippines, unite people to understand who they are or what they can become. It doesn't have to be militant. Just understand this. We're a group of islands and we need something to identify ourselves, right? When you guys were here growing up, we identified as Pacquiao as our hero, right? For a lot of people in Mindanao, they identified their hero as Duterte. For a lot of people in the north, they identified their hero as Marcos Sr., right? For a lot of people in Cebu, they identify their heroes Lapu-Lapu. So I'm telling you right now, you guys on the left, find something to bring the Filipino psyche in a positive light, because we are currently rotting right now. And you know darn well that we are, because all you can see in your Facebook right now is your aunts and uncles fighting about who's right and how many EGKs were done and how many of these were done. And that goes out to all the Filipino Canadians that are going to be watching this, and also Filipino Americans who have time to think, who don't live paycheck to paycheck, have all the nice cars. You guys can comment all you want in every social media, but think for 5 minutes, what can I do to make somebody in the Philippines that's going through the roughest time right now, especially what's going on with Duterte in ICC and with Marcos dealing with drugs and all kinds of Supreme Court. That's my only wish, because at the end of the day, 3 years after, our election is coming up, right? And we have another election in 3 years' time. We're still going to be Filipinos. We got to figure out a way to unite. We united one time in 2016. We united one time again, I guess, in 2022, right? With BBM, because we thought that's it. He's going to do better for his family because he's giving a second chance.
Yeah, they were allied.
Yeah, but allied. Here we go again. We're back at this same conundrum. So we have, like, for me, I'm thinking about it. I said, okay, forget about sub-Saharan nonsense, right? What unites us Filipinos is how proud we are, no? Ganun talaga tayo eh. We're very proud and we're very family-centric. So instead of blaming everybody else for our own wrongs, especially the left, always putting out so many people getting killed here and there, understand the situation. The Philippines does not have a social safety net, which is part of the reason where there's damage, collateral damage in the war on drugs. So how do we rehabilitate that? Get to your people on the left to do something so that the majority of you guys can vote for a social safety net, and don't allow the current government to keep stealing funds from the PhilHealth, because that is mandatory for all of us Filipinos to pinch in. Like their paychecks are getting taken out of that. And that's the biggest problem here. There is no unifying entity currently right now within the Filipino psyche. Wala.
Ito
Hindi ba si Diwata?
Kailangan ng Doge.
Yun nga, ito tatanong ko kasi dati, sabi mo, left ka talaga. At totoo talagang sa mga college university, di ba? Talagang doon tayo nagkakilala. Nag-ano kami niyan, may mga banner din kami. Hala, tugtog kami para sa mga nila, talaga makiiba ka. Sumasama kami doon, di ba? Pero ang tanong ko, may mga naririnig kasi ako at nababasa na ang isa sa mga punot dulo nito ay dahil sa outside funding sa mga insurgencies na napakalaking aparato niyan, napakalaking pera niyan, and ang hirap sumat up. Okay? At sinasabi mo nga, find peace, find the common ground, di ba? Kasi nandun ang pera.
Tama.
And yung mga US dollars na nagpo-pour, mas powerful yan pagpunta sa Pilipinas kasi dahil sa exchange rate. Napakalakas ng US dollar, di ba? And, unfortunately, yung kung paano nag-work yung insurgencies, very similar naman tactic yan ng mga intelligence.
It's ever.
Ganun eh.
Yun ang point dun eh. Yung gustong sabihin ni Ian, find common ground or find something to unify us. Pero there is an external force. Yun ang sinasabi mo.
Absolutely.
There is an external force. And this is not being used
Since
for the
day
first time. This is day one. So, yun nga. Alam mo, nakikita ko rin sa Facebook ko, yung mga divisiveness na nangyayari. Ilocano to, ganito, Bisaya to, ganito. I see those divisiveness. And then may mga nagpo-post dyan na, wag kayong manood ng ABS-CBN, GMA, mga ganon. Since when? Sa umpisa pa lang, nung ko pa sinasabi niya, since when do you trust the news agencies? Right? Like, we should not use those tools or yung mga ways natin to divide people. We have to do our own due diligence.
And kaya challenging sa ating mga Pinoy.
Yun ang mahirap. Sorry, yun ang mahirap eh. Kasi the information inside sa Pilipinas, pero inside the box ka lang, hindi mo nakikita yung self mo yung sarili mo mismo outside. Right? We need that. I think we need that. We need to
idadagdag ko. Kaya nga sa point na 'yon, balikan natin yung nakaraan. Okay? hindi tayo kumukuha kasi ng support, ng inspiration sa kapwa nating mga Pilipino. Since day one, dahil nga sa colonial mentality natin, no? Okay? Talagang nagdodraw tayo ng inspiration, 'di ba? American dream, English. Ang naging unifier is language, okay? Fashion, entertainment, music, dinro natin 'yan sa West. Okay? So, ang laki ng impact sa atin 'yan. Ang education natin, again, genius natin ng West. And then eventually, marami na ring mga superpower, China, Europe, mga ganyan, no? And you know, may interest din yan sa atin. So parang naging pareho na ngayon ang parang interest ng US, meron sila sa atin, merong interest ang China sa atin. Yung mga powerful na ano, no? So tayo ngayon mas conflicted. So parang nagiging pawn tayo.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So ang hirap nating magkaisa kasi nga dahil sa mga wala tayong paninindigan.
And there is that narrative kung bakit nga nag-aaway si Duterte and Marcos in the first place, because their geopolitical belief.
Yep.
At saka yung foreign kung sinong gusto nilang sumide. Right? We know that Duterte is siding with China, which I don't disagree. Sabi ko naman, like, you know, China, we're neighbor with China, so we should be friends with China. However, si Bongbong is more leaning to the United States. He's actually more centered. You know, kapag si Lenny ang nanalo, then we're all far left. So, yung mga ginawa ni Duterte, eliminate, alisin mo na lahat, right? So,
Quadcom every day.
yeah, Quadcom every day. If Lenny, so there is that narrative nga. Tama ka. So, it is a bigger picture
Kasi
if you think of it.
Dahil nga wala tayong capacity na to stand our ground in terms ng infrastructure, in terms ng mga funding. Kaya tayo nakanganga tayo sa kung anong baka iabuloy sa atin ng China pagdating sa mga infrastructure. Lahat yan may kapalit. Alam mo yan? Ganon din sa US since day one. So, lahat yan is utang na loob. Kaya nga, ang dami mga base sa Pilipinas, di ba? Glorified talaga. And dahil doon, damay tayo sa mga interest ng mga bansang yon.
Tama.
Okay? Na to the point na yung relationship natin sa mga kapatid natin ang naapektuhan. So, talagang parang pinag-aagawan tayo na ano.
So,
yun ang ano natin talaga.
So paano natin masasolve yung ganun? Yung
We have to
unity?
compare ourselves to other countries.
Ah.
Ikaw, meron kang...
Ito sabihin ko sa inyo, what did Indonesia and Malaysia do?
Naku, delikado yan.
They have problems. They have problems. But they have a unifying thing about them. I don't know what the prime minister is doing. I'm not privy to geopolitics, but we don't hear much of what's going on there.
Alam
Due
mo
to the fact because it's stable.
Kasi unang-una din, mas nationalistic sila. Hindi sila nakikinig sa US muna para mag-isip.
Tama.
Okay? So sila, pag may mali ang gobyerno, diretso, sila ang conflict, government at saka mga tao. Okay? Wala masyadong influence eh. Okay? Tayo, pag may mali ang government, ang daming variables. Baka kaya mali ito kasi nasa payroll to ni gantong kongresista o ni ganto may utang dahil to sa USAID. Dahil to naman sa China kasi may ganon dito. Ang daming sanga-sanga. Ang hirap ngayon makorek nung problema kasi ang daming puppet master. Mga puppet masters, no? Lahat ng mga, I guess, mga tao at saka yung mga nasa pwesto ay wala sunod-sunuran. May utang na loob o ano lang talaga, may nagpupul ng strings.
In comparison, I would not use Indonesia or Malaysia because they're driven by their religious belief. That's why they are more nationalistic at saka they're more leaning yung kung ano yung belief nila, not whether West, American style or whatsoever. Let's look at other countries like Vietnam, for example.
Singapore.
They were torn country, right? And they were, isa rin silang bansa na hakop ng komunista. Di ba? But look at them right now. ano pang mga ibang countries dyan that we're close to
Singapore.
a comparison, right? Singapore, yes, Singapore, right? They have their own identity. They created their identity. I think that is what's missing. Like I don't know if you mentioned that. Yung sabi mo, yung common ground natin is we have to find our own.
Dadagdag ko, ang kaibahan kasi nung sa example mo sa Indonesia, sa Vietnam, sa Singapore halimbawa, okay? Yung mga leader na naging leader nila is lumaki. Ako sino man, kahit sino, di ba? Lumaki. Yung last 20 years, 30 years ng buhay nila bago sila talaga nag-serve. Okay? Lumaki na nationalistic kasi hindi ganun masyado ang control at influence ng iba. So ang hirap mahalin, ang hirap mag-serve ng dalawang master eh. So one side, ang sinasabi sa iyo ng master mo is English ay superior. Okay? Ang American dream, ang ganto, ganyan. Ang kalaban ay ganto. Masamang tao si ganto, masama ang mga Muslim, mga ganon. And then, other hand, is iba naman yung reality mo. Ang hirap na, so ano to? Sino talaga? And for the longest time, mas binigyan natin talaga ng weight ang narrative ng iba kaysa sa atin talaga.
I agree.
Kaya ang disadvantage talaga natin ay yung history natin na sa haba ng panahon, sa tagal-tagal ng panahon ay wala tayong naging tayo, parang extension tayo ng mga Kastila. Naging extension tayo ng mga Kano. Yun ang kaya ang hirap i-copy na hindi ganun kasimple na kung ganun pala, kailangan lang natin is leader na parang Duterte. O strongman, leader na parang si Lee Kuan Yew o sino sa Singapore.
Yeah.
O si Widodo o sa Indonesia. And then that's it. Maski pumayag pa ang mga tao, hindi ganoon kasimple. Yeah. Kasi nga
it's embedded sa culture natin tong politika na kumpare. Anong tawag nila doon? Politics.
Pero Luzon lang yun di ba? Mindanao.
Ito, I'm gonna segue with you on
Sub-Saharan sila doon.
I'm gonna segue on that one. So, itong identity natin that we are a group of islands. And sinabi natin sa usapan natin that our narrative is always somebody else's narrative. But what is our government currently right now? Imperial Manila. Everything and anything that happens in the Philippines starts with Imperial Manila.
Kasalanan na Maynila.
So, at the end of the day, our identity is based on what's going on in Manila. So people from Mindanao, Visayas, Luzon cannot have their own identity without the what do you call this? Ano ba yun? Quality standards of Manila. This is why Richard Heyderian, my friend, you and your human index, decided that it was actually relevant for him to speak like that because that's the mentality of the current Filipino psyche, right? So if we have that mindset, we have to change our government so that there's equal representation. But the current status quo, which is part of the reason why Duterte is in ICC, which is part people are fighting right now, is they want to keep the status quo. We have a predatory style of state. Yeah. It's all about survival. It doesn't matter if your constituents are hungry or in drugs. It's all about survival, right? And for us Filipinos here, dito sa Canada, let's think about that. And that's something that we could unite ourselves. When we want to retire to the Philippines, what do we want? We want to be represented equally so that wherever we go, there's not one imperial area that's like, oh, you want to get a business permit? Oh, you want to go national? You got to go to Manila, man. You got to line up there in Manila. No, we could do it in Cebu. We could do it in Ilocos. We should be able to do it in Mindanao, wherever in Davao, right? But the current climate right now is a unitary government, and that's what sucks, and that's what we're precariously fighting up against. We're divided because of that, and I think for Filipinos, we don't understand the ramifications if we continue this style of government in the next 30, 40 years. We're constantly going to be on a 30-second reel here about what's going to happen tomorrow. Somebody's going to do something, and we're back at it again.
And I agree, and they've tried that.
They've tried.
They tried charter change. noon pa, makapag-alaroyo and stuff like that, but never go through. So yeah, I you know, if
Kasi
we need to,
mawawala yung power nga sa Imperial sa yung Manila. So bakit mo i-give up?
It's gonna be federalism or it's more equal divided power. Kung ganun nga. Pero may advantage, disadvantage. Now, I don't want to get into that. Pero yeah, I agreed. We have to have a drastic change. We have to have a drastic change.
Like I was just talking to you guys about this. So you have the president, and then you have BARM on the right side, and now you have the rest of the Philippines on the other side. Can you imagine one person's power to destroy or have a conflict in Bangsamoro Autonomous Region just because he has the power or she has the power to do so? Imagine that. And then Bangsamoro is a parliamentary with Council of Elders, right? So that's what they have there. And Manila, for the life of them, can send all the representatives in Mindanao that they want, but they'll never know the culture and the climate in Mindanao. So when we're talking about identity here again, it all goes back down to what kind of government that we live in and who's able to pull the strings, right? So ito na yun eh. Like if you look at it from what's going on in the last 2 weeks, I keep thinking, what is the common denominator here?
Yeah.
What is the most common denominator? Power lang talaga eh.
Hindi, tsaka hindi naintindihan ng mga tao kung saan galing nga si Duterte. Siya yung nag-forge ng peace sa Mindanao. So imagine mo yung tumira ka sa uncertain na area, na war-torn, 'di ba? Kasi parang laging may mga gera, 'di ba? Sa yung kabilang tribe, laging nagkakagulo. So doon siya galing eh. Alam mo yung heart niya ganun katibay na nagawa niyang peace. 'Di ba? Ngayon, peace ngayon. So, yun ang hindi maiintindihan ng mga taga Manila. Yun ang hindi
ang idadagdag ko lang siguro suggestion na hopefully sa lifetime natin mangyari na para makatulong na mas maintindihan ng mga normal na tao, ng mga politiko, ng mga profesor, ng mga intelektual. Dadating ang panahon na technology, blockchain, halimbawa, no? Then, yung transparency na ultimo bawat piso talagang makikita mo.
Yeah.
Walang tago-tago.
Wala.
Okay? Kasi yun ang corruption ngayon, di ba? Katulad yan, PhilHealth, walang pondo. Bakit? Pila kayo. Para sa mga... para sa ayuda. Imagine mo yung mindset ng mga Pilipino na iboboto ka dahil sa ayuda.
Yeah.
Nakikita ko mga poster na ganun. Talaga, kawawa. Mga mangmang talaga itong mga hayop na. So, kung dahil sa blockchain, halimbawa, or something ganun, hindi ko alam. Basta technology, na grabe ang transparency. So, mas madali mo ngayon makikita talaga at madali mo marirealize na, oh my God, grabe, corruption to Oh, grabe, kasi ngayon hindi makita lahat nakatago
Sa akin naman, I think that's far-fetched. I mean, no, I'm not saying na it will work. That's what US is trying to do right
Democratization,
now.
Democratization of finance.
Let's hindi nga nila mapalitan yung Smartmatic na nagano ng boto
Yun is
yung
by design. Hindi maski sa US, di ba?
Look, even Smartmatic is banned, man. I think it's banned in other countries.
Yeah.
And in the US right now, they're actually investigating Smartmatic, and we know for a fact Smartmatic is very manipulative. Just do your research, right? For the fact, yung anim lang na yan, hindi masubal-sulba yan. Blockchain, yes, I agree, pero that's far-fetched. I still have to go back. We need to have a leader talagang katulad ngayon ni, look, cancelin mo na ako, katulad ni Trump. Right? You have to put the country first. No matter what. Wala The closest is Duterte. The closest was Duterte. Right? Sino pa ba? Wala.
Bukele.
Right? Wala. You have to have that mentality. Alam mo bakit Duterte is not afraid of? Kasi hindi na siya tatakbo Alam niya na lahat ng the same thing as Duterte. Wala siyang tinatakutan. He has that mentality.
Ang kaibahan kasi dito, kaya hindi ganun kasimple na maski i-duplicate mo si Trump. Okay? Lahat ng style niya, lahat sa Pilipinas. Kaya hindi ganun basta-basta mag-work. Si Trump, alam niya na may leverage ang US.
Oh, yes.
Okay? Yeah. So ikaw, kung ikaw salesman ka, alam mo yung leverage mo, ma-maximize mo yun Okay? Sa Pilipinas, in the last 50 years, 60 years, ano ang leverage natin?
Humans.
Yun lang. Pero, ibig sabihin, hindi ganun kadali na parang kay Trump na, 50%, ititigil ko to, ganon. Humans yan eh. So, ang maganda dito, sa tingin mo, pwede tayong pauwiin lahat ng mga Pilipino? Lahat ng mga nurses? Pero hindi ganun kasi may, hindi ganun kadali.
Ikaw mismo na nagsabi kanina, due to COVID, hindi na nakita yung lahat ng capacity ni Duterte. Kung walang COVID, sana nakita natin yung difference. You never know kung anong na-accomplish niya. Right? But you know for a fact na he was anong tawag sa kanya? The strong, anong tawag mo doon?
Strong man?
He was a strong man. Like he has the parang authority na para bang gawin niya kahit anong gusto niyang gawin. And that's what we needed.
No, pero hindi.
That's what we needed. Just like
hindi rin completely kasi maski walang COVID, maski anong gawin mo, maski utopia pa sa makancel na naman ako doon. Maski may progress pa sa Pilipinas ng 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, then what? Walang insurance para sa mag-continue.
This is why we need charter change.
That's why we need charter change, man. And the Filipinos need to get behind that. And for you left out there that want to be relevant again, let's get this going. Because at the end of the day, if you want representation, I mean, I understand you guys have enjoyed your quadcoms. I understand that you guys have toiled on people using party lists and stuff. But you guys are just doing it for relevance now. There is no real change that at one point us activists wanted. That's what we did when we were in university. We wanted change. We wanted to be Filipino and proud. And I'm telling you guys, the left has a monopoly of Filipino identity in North America right
Everywhere.
now. I'm sorry to say.
Everywhere.
They have it. Okay? And you guys can literally speak to anyone and speak to any Filipinos who are born here about Filipino identity, and you guys can connect. You have mastered that. There's nothing like it, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, we all want to go back home to the Philippines, but we just don't want to see Boracay, man. For crying out loud, somebody got killed in Boracay a week ago.
Ni-rape, tinambak yung katawan dun sa may chapel na abandon.
This is crazy. Foreigner, Slovakian, man.
Damn.
So, to me, it's like the left has a lot of things that they can do good for the Filipino psyche from a Western perspective, and they have to own that and make sure that the Filipinos, instead of going to the mountains, actually goes and does something right. We don't have to continuously keep on putting placards everywhere we go and say somebody's a dictator. That time's done. There is a democratization of media now. You can't hide from your rhetoric now. People will challenge you. So at the end of the day, tactics needs to be changed, and the Filipinos have come together. There's about 10 million of us in the world. We have to come together and say, look, this is what we want, and we will be powerful enough to do this. But at the end of the day, man, like, we can't live precariously on Facebook Reels and what ABS-CBN and GMA soap operas are doing. Because our country is ailing right now. We don't know where it's going to go in the next 3 months. We really don't. I was just talking to Andrew earlier. It's either a coup d'etat or martial law. We don't know what's going to happen.
Baka yun ang kailangan is yung devastation na ganun, para yung trauma na ganun para magising ka.
Yeah, no, but then we've been trying to do that since 1987.
It's not gonna work.
You know what I mean? And the youth will play a huge role in this. So for me,
nakaka-frustrate kasi ang youth ngayon, yung bumalik na talaga yung mga drugs at saka yung mga crime, bumalik. May nakita lang ako sa TikTok recent. Mga bata nagra-rugby.
Yeah, man.
Okay, bata.
That's not new, by the way. That's not new.
Pero ito bago. 8, 9 years old. Dati nakakikita talaga ako nung...
Yeah, that's not new.
Tapos yung bata, walang hiya, kinadyot yung ano nung... alam mo yung
milk
mga container ng... Yeah? Nakita mo rin yun?
Yeah, nakita ko yun.
Wild, man. Like, ginano no, tapos, man, nakakatakot.
Yeah, there's also the police station on the other side, and then behind that, there was like 6 people doing methamphetamine. Like, you know, for the Filipinos out there, blame all you want in the government, but at the end of the day, it's our government policies that's allowing this to happen, because Imperial Manila, they control everything. And it's what do you call it? It's a faucet, right? Faucet to a faucet to a faucet to a faucet. And when it comes down to sub-Saharan Mindanao, we get nothing. But then with you guys in Manila, you're supposed to have everything. That's why you guys have the high on the human index. But the problem is the government policies
Yeah.
that is affecting how we live, and we don't have a social safety net. So before you guys start crying about EGKs,
Yeah.
we don't have it, guys. We don't have it.
That's where Bongbong got it wrong. He could have pursued or followed what Duterte started because he was too scared about that EGK or ICC and stuff like that.
Pero ano ba ang main
Kasi iba yung
criticism
prioritize
sa
niya eh.
charter change? Ano yung main na ba?
Political dynastic families.
Which
That's what it is.
Oh, paano yun? Paano nga naman yun?
Well, at the end of the day, with charter change, instead of the power being concentrated in one place, it's now concentrated everywhere else, and the people will have the power to have those people near them be accountable. Currently, right now, nobody's accountable because as soon as you elect a congressman, they're all the way in Manila and they're in charge of the laws and everything and whatever money.
Pero paano
they
mo
get.
nga malalabanan yung sa
No,
political
I
dynasty?
think there's gonna be more transparency even though meron dynasty yung mga ganyan. Kasi makikita mo na yung resulta yung gawa nila.
Yeah. It's no longer
You know what I
far-fetched.
mean?
We don't have to go look at the
It
microscope
doesn't
anymore.
matter kung let's just say okay fine matagal yung family na let's say anong tawag na minister na kapag gano'n, di ba? If they did good, then yeah, they have the right or they keep, they can stay in place. Pero if you see that the what would you call province? Province is suffering and the family is still running the whole province, then that is a definite no to that, and
So yun nga, para sa
So,
akin, makes sense na...
it makes sense, yeah.
Oh, pero bakit
makes sense.
parang sobrang big deal na lagi, ay, political dynasty, charter, cha-cha, loko, political dynasty. Ang understanding ko nga, teka, paano kung talagang merong mga nasa lahi na talagang gusto
let's-
nilang maging leader at nagdi-deliver? Ang, dapat may safety doon na, kung
Let's-
pwede kayong tanggalin.
This is just a challenge. Tignan natin yung Let's do our research. Yung form of government natin, compared to the other countries that has the same system, are within the lowest rank when it comes to their lifestyle at saka Tignan mo.
The US.
Hindi. Hindi. Ano yan? Mix yung US. Hindi katulad sa atin. Even though we copied it, because look, they're all states, right? Hindi mga but the form of government is the lowest when you compare to the other countries that has parliamentary system or federal system. They're on the top of the chain.
You know why people
just compare that.
You know why people are in the Philippines, bakit sila ayaw nila ng cha-cha?
Kasi
I'll tell you. Wala na kasing kwan eh. Wala na kasing there's no more money.
Yeah.
And you can trace it. Kasi malapit lang kasi yung kinahukuman ng pera eh.
Yeah.
So when it's given, like the way with us, right? When the federal government gives money to us, you know where it is. It's in Queens Park. And you don't have to go anywhere far to find out where the money is. Currently in the Philippines, you have to travel day and night to figure out where the money went, if you can find the money, because it's hidden in every single pork barrel, in every single unchecked, confidential funds, and it's like, well, you guys in Visayas, Mindanao, Luzon, you don't have to worry about that because you're not near Malacanang or the Congress, right? In the House that to figure that out. And yun nga, predatory state nga eh. And so at the end of the day, like, what's our common ground here is that we need to change our government because we will continue this drain of people. We will continue this division of people, and it parang soap opera eh. Every darn year, every 3 years may bagong bida eh. Instead of continuity, right?
Ang daming nangyayari palagi. Alam mo?
Yeah.
Pero dati, yung mga nasa left, yung mga komunista halimbawa, sila rin ba yung ang battle cry is no to cha-cha, no to cha-cha? Sino yung mga yun?
Sila yung charter change din natin.
They want a revolutionary government.
Yeah.
But the problem is, what kind of revolutionary government do you want? Yun eh. And they haven't figured that out. The Joma already died, so who's next? The guys that are doing Quadcom right now, that's wasting taxpayers' money? Like, that's the problem.
Ganito na lang tingnan natin. The fact na nagpapatayan kapag may election, nagbibili ng boto kapag may election, nagwawalgas ng milyon-milyon tuwing may election, compared mo sa sweldo nila.
Yeah, man.
Compared mo sa sweldo nila. So, saan nila kukunin yung winalgas nila? Bakit kailan mong pumatay? Kung walang pagkikitahan or walang pagkukunan ng pera, yung pala, yung logic lang yung maling-mali, man. Right? Mali. So, the system has to change.
Hindi, sabay kasi dapat eh. Parang chicken and egg, no? Chicken or egg. Kasi, sa US, kaya nag-work, bawat state sa kanila, may infrastructure, may enough livelihood. Ngayon, ang tanong dyan, kaya ba ganun is kasi, meron silang kanya-kanya nila mga governor at saka sa Pilipinas nga, maski iniba nga yung government, hindi naman instantly yung infrastructure nandun na self-sustaining lahat ng mga city, provinces, ganyan. So parang matagal yun. Hindi ganun kasimple yun.
Hindi pare-pareho, pero that's what the Prime Minister would do. Right? Tulungan yung mga hindi yung provinces na lagging, right? They would build more infrastructure.
Pero yung infrastructure na yung iba ay 5 years to make. Kalimbawa.
Tama.
Ay, gagawin, hindi pa tapos. Iba na naman.
But you have to start from somewhere. As long as the system is changed, yung the way we govern, andun na. If it takes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, so be it. Pero we know for a fact, iba na yung sistema. Hindi na katulad.
Kaya kailangan sabay. Kasi ngayon, may mga ginawang mga highway yata dati o sinimula ng mga subway. Di ba? Yung kumuha na sa Japan yata ng boring machine na ganon. Wala. Ano na?
You don't hear about it.
Wala na.
Di ba ginagawa na nila?
Wala na. May mga anomalya nangyari ngayon.
Ito
Meron pa.
So if you're looking at a case on parliamentary, so Duterte essentially created the peace BARM, right? Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, right? So he cleaned out the, I think it was the Maute group or the ISIS.
Maute, oh.
The ISIS group in.
He got rid of the ISIS.
In Marawi, very close to where I live, by the way. So yun, tapos na yun. In all the years that has been created, there has been peace in Mindanao because people are represented. The current situation that we're in right now is that Davao's the only one that's prosperous right now, besides BARM, right? Because BARM is in its own. It's an autonomous region, so we can't equate that. But at the end of the day, it's all about representation. And if our representation is all in the nicest places in Manila because of they're so far away that they don't have to worry about their constituents, Philippines will never change. So ito na yun. The left has to figure out what stance they want to be in. Tayo, we have to figure out what stance they want to be in and what change we want. And forget about what's going on right now. I know at the end of the day, masakit talaga ngayon kasi the best president that we had is in The Hague getting tried for 43 cases or 43 murders, whatever, until proven guilty. And it's hard for us right now. But we have to step back and say, hey, man, what's the bigger issue here? And we need to make people accountable. And that to me is what's really important. Like that is the main focal point.
Although good news.
Anong good news?
Sabi nung I think in-hire nilang lawyer, there's a chance na maakwit yung kaso.
Good news sa inyo, pero sa iba hindi.
Hindi kasi like look, if they followed kasi merong silang example na although guilty, I'm not saying na guilty si Duterte, pero mali yung process na pag-aresto sa kanya. Yun ang kailangan nilang ipag.
Yeah, parang pag nahuli ka ng ano.
And it to me, sabi ko nga, para bang the more I see it, parang mali talaga yung proseso na ginawa nila. So there is a good chance.
Parang nung nahuli ako ng speeding, tas mali yung sinulat ng police.
Pero guilty ka, di ba?
Pero guilty ako. Pero na-quash. Iba,
Kasi
mali.
wala pa. Kasi santok pa.
Guilty si Speedy. Thank you very much, Ian. At ang dami namin natutunan. Pero at the end of the day, gusto lang naman natin is, magandang conversation. At mapaisip din ng mga tao. And wala tayong inaaway. Kumbaga, lahat tayo Filipinos na gustong magkaisa.
Tama.
Wala tayong minamaliit.
Easy lang sa chat. Kasi, nakakasakit
Easy lang,
naman sakit naman sa feeling.
Wala rin kaming mga PhD.
Malakas lang talaga boses ko.
Taga Manila
Ignite.
imperialist mga yan tol.
I-ignite ang conversation.
Westeros.
Tama.
I-ignite. Magkaroon tayo ng conversation. Kung mali ako, mali ako. Diba? Mali siya. Most of the time, ikaw raw pinakamali. Sabi sa chat.
Di ba? Paano nyo nalaman?
Hindi.
Di ba? Like, ang topic ba natin dito is math na sobrang dali na isolve. Mali siya. Kasi, ito ang calculator. Alam mo yun? Parang lang tayo mali.
Pero, yun nga, ang isipin na lang natin is paano ba yung sinabi ni Ian, ano yung future natin, ano yung nakikita nating unifier para sa ating lahat before tayo mag-complain or, umalis muna sa social media kasi ang algorithm niyan, isa lang, parang isang way lang. Minamagnify lang, ina-amplify lang talaga yung certain belief mo at matuto tayong mag-unawa.
Ang unifier, si Maris Racal.
Okay, thank you very much at magkita kita lang tayo next week dito lang sa Barber's Cut.